bring you on. I hope this is Richard Oliver. I'm guessing. Let's see. We got Richard on the phone?
Hey there, buddy. Yeah, it's Richard.
This is great. I'd like to welcome the apprentice jockey, Richard Oliver. I don't have anybody answering the phone for me because I'm not that big yet, man. Maybe after a couple more rides like you had the other day and you get really big in America, you can help me out with like a studio guy and we'll just run the show that way. But I'd like to welcome a jockey. You're an apprentice jockey. Won the other day on an 85-1 long shot. Tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Where are you from? I see winners, but where are you from, brother?
I'm from England originally. I came over here in February. I started off at Turfway Park for a few weeks, and then went to Keeneland and onto Belterra and a couple of the other surrounding tracks.
Well, tell us a little about your childhood. You wanted to be a jockey, man. You traveled to set out to be a jockey. Was it in your mind as a young child?
Well, we had ponies and riding horses and show jumpers as a kid, and we were pretty lucky. We lived on a farm, so I always had horses around. And only problem was my weight was a little bit. It wasn't ideal for a jockey. I mean, when I was 15, I was about 160 pounds. So I was a pretty chubby, pretty heavy kid. And I started off riding racehorses, and everybody told me time and time again, everybody drilled it into me that I would never ride in a race. As I was too heavy, I was the wrong build, I was too big, and that was kind of a trigger to prove people wrong. So I set about losing a lot of weight, and I've managed it pretty good ever since. So I traveled a little bit. I lived in Australia for a while and rode in France last year, and then finally decided to come over here and give it a go.
That's amazing. You said to yourself, you rode everywhere, and I like how people tell you that you ain't gonna be, because then people are just too afraid to be something themselves, so they like to put everybody else down. You proved them wrong. I see you're riding. You're in horse racing attention. We see you riding long shots in. What was it like when you first made that change? You said, I'm going to the United States. What was your goal to work out? I mean, did you think maybe down the line a year, or maybe do you think time frame you want to be somewhere?
I don't like to make too many plans, because when you make plans and things don't go right, you get disappointed. I never been given anything. I never had anything handed to me on a plate. So everything I've done or got so far is an extra bonus. So it's anything that I get, any winners I ride, any horses I ride, it's a privilege to be riding them. I like to try and work hard. I try and work 7 days a week if I can, trying to make sure I don't miss anything. And I don't make any plans particularly. I like to I like to let things flow and see what happens, and I just want to keep my head down and see where I end up and see how far I can go.
Who were some of the main guys that when you first came over to the United States that really helped you out and get you started when you first arrived here in the United States, man? That's got to be tough. I know you like to travel, but the United States, some big racing over here.
I mean, when I first arrived, I came over here with my wife Clementine. We didn't know anybody over here at all. There's been a few people who've been a huge influence and a big help. A lady who trains a few horses at Keeneland, Sally Shue. She does very well. She looks after her horses great, and she put me in touch with several people and helped me out a lot. Also, a trainer who you probably know, Philip Sims, who trains Don't Tell Sophia. He's a fantastic guy, a fantastic conditioner of horses. He was great to me. He always put me on a bunch of horses in the morning, and that helped enormously. Just getting the hang of the way the tracks are and the riding over here, and he never got mad whenever I messed up, which was plenty of the time. He's a very, very laid-back guy. Him and his whole family are lovely people, and they've got some lovely horses, and that's always nice.
That's great. You got to get that thing where you work hard, man, in the mornings. Because I have a buddy of mine who's been at it, and he's trying. And sometimes being a jockey can be very difficult, man. I know you know more than anybody traveling around like that. So I guess when you have faith, now you must have. What is it like when you ride? Who do you people? First of all, I want to go back to. You know what? Let's go back to this. Where did you get off? Like hugging in the winner's circle. I think that is so cool. It's like it's going to be your signature. And I hope to see like 5,000 of them hugs. You know what I mean? Over the next 20 years, man. Where'd you come with the hug in the photos, man? Where'd you come about with that?
Well, I was explaining this to my new agent today. He was asking where it came from. It originally came about. I rode a horse for there's a couple of old guys. I rode a horse named Carter's Intent, a Belterra. He's an old horse. He's real stiff moving, and he runs in cheap $5,000 races. But the horse tries his heart out every time, and I love the horse to pieces. And I kept hitting the board with him, and I couldn't quite get him to win. And then one day, just before we went out into post parade, it rained so hard, and the horse loves the slop. So finally we won one with him, and the two old boys that train him, they were so happy, and they take such good care of the horse. They love him to bits, and it meant a lot to me, and it meant a lot to them guys to win on him. So I decided to give him a hug in the winner's enclosure, and when we put the picture up on Facebook, we got a lot of a really nice response from it, and a lot of people liked it. So I've done it with everyone since.
That's amazing, man. I just love it. I think it's really cool, man. Something different. It brings a little spice to racing, and it's good to know the story behind it now. Because that guy battled, that $5,000 claim of battles, and you said he battled every single time, man. And you felt that you finally got him to win. That's great. That's a great story. Now tell us a little about. Okay, your new agent wouldn't be Don, right? Would it be Don?
Yeah, Don August. Yeah.
Okay, because he Facebooked me, and I was like, yo, dude, you got to help me out. I need some bio, and I need something on this young kid, man. Tell me something about it. So you wrote down. You plan to stay there? Or are you going to head out to the West Coast soon?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm. Hopefully, we're leaving.
That's obvious, by the
way. We're leaving early Sunday morning.
And you're heading out to where? That's going to be Golden Gate?
Yeah, it's going to be Golden Gate. Yeah.
I kind of figured that. It's a guy from the Bay Area. I mean, I'm trying to think. I mean, like 2 + 2 = 4. Anywhere you're at, man. Any continent and stuff like that. What do you like to do, Rich? What's some fun when you're away from the horses? It's probably not too much these days. What kind of fun do you like, man?
I don't know. I'm married. I like to go home and spend some time with my wife. I don't get to spend a whole lot of time with her, and I kind of feel bad. I feel bad about that sometimes. So yeah, I mean, most of the time when I'm not on the track is taken up. I like to spend time with my wife.
Oh, that's it, man. What kind of music you tuning in, man? To you gonna turn on the radio? You driving? What kind of music you're into?
Anything. It goes all the way from. I love a bit of Ed Sheeran. I like him. I like Macklemore. All the way through till if it's been a long stressful day, I'll listen to some classic FM.
Oh, okay, I got you. Spread it out, man. So like my son. My son man. My son, he rocks it. See, I'm old school hip hop guy, man. People say, "Oh, Doc, what kind of?" I like the old school, the KRS-One. The Run DMC, the LL Cool J in the beginning, but I like that stuff, and my son is into the new stuff. My son loves Drake. He really likes Drake a lot, so I'm like trying to play it for me, and I'm like, I don't feel it, because it's like a new style, man. I thought maybe you were going to say you were some punk rock, man. When I think of England, I think of like The Clash, or I'm just telling you what kind of New Yorkers think, man.
Yeah. No, I listen. I literally turn, if I turn the radio on and I like the sound of it, I'll listen to it. I like something that puts me in the mood to do whatever it is I'm doing.
That's cool, man. I like that. What soccer team do you like? What soccer team? Jay, hold on 1 second. Jay, get you 1 second. What soccer team are you into?
I'm probably the only Englishman alive that doesn't like soccer.
Football club. Okay, I got you. Here you go. Get it, Jay.
Yeah, Mike. Was there anybody influential that brought you over here to the States? You know, because yeah.
Richard, Jay. Richard. It's Richard.
Sorry. Yeah, Richard. Sorry, Richard. Was there?
Yeah. No. Originally, I met. I was riding in France last year, and Wesley Ward brought Hootenanny over. Brought Hootenanny over to run in the Prix de Mornay, which is a Grade 1 2-year-old race, and he was him and the owner were there in the morning, and they asked me to get on Hootenanny and just take him around the track, and you know, I've heard of Wesley, and I've seen his horses run at Royal Ascot and the big meetings when he brings them over to Europe, and you know, that's something that's always interested me. I've always been interested by the racing over here. I love the style of riding over here and the speed. So basically, the opportunity kind of presented itself, and I spoke to Wesley, and you know, I just asked him a little bit about what it was like over here, and you know, pretty much 2 weeks later, we packed everything up and shipped over.
I'll tell you, Wesley Ward is really good to the young jockeys coming up, man. And so many of them he takes care of, and that's got to be the good thing, man. That's got to be really cool. Now, you said the different styles of riding. I'm not a huge fan of I can't really, I'll be honest with you, it's hard for me with 3 kids to follow horse racing in America, forget about overseas. And now when you say Ascot, what is Ascot like living over there, growing up? Well, can you explain what, you know, particularly being a horse racing fan, what it's like to go there for the meets?
Well, I guess the main difference is horse racing in America, to me, comes across as a money-making industry, which is, you know, it is what it is, and that seems like how it works. In England, our racing is not so much run through money. It's a lot of it's the prestige of the racing. You know, people love to see big horses running at big meets and races quite often very old races that have a lot of history behind them. You know, where big jockeys and big horses have made their names in those races and at those tracks. So people, I mean, in America, you know, people love the big purse races, which is, you know, it's great for jockeys and owners and everybody involved. But there's just a specific difference there between the two places, yeah.
I like the big hats you guys wear over there, man. That's pretty cool, man. The big hats, and you got to wear the suit. And that's cool stuff, man, and I appreciate it. You know what? I'm going to follow your career, I'll tell you that, man. I wish you the best of luck, man. And I hope that you know, all them people that told you can't do, you know, and these big purse American races over here, I hope you win a bunch of them, man. And you'll prove them all wrong. And I can have you back on and follow you with your rise, you know, to where you want to go, man. No plans, let's just go. Hopefully someday it's the winner's circle of one of these big races. I'm not going to name mine is the Wood Memorial and Aqueduct. You come over here and win that, I'll give you a high five and I'll take you out, man. We'll get some shepherd's pie. I'll take you to the hottest spot over here, man. Shepherd's pie.
That'd be great.
A couple of Guinnesses and we'll have a good time, bro. Not that much. I'll leave it.
Right.
You could just have a couple of
All right, thank you, man.
But thank you so much. I appreciate it. That's Richard Oliver. Best of luck out on the West Coast, man. Best of luck, brother. All right, we're going to be right back.
Thanks for having me on.
Somebody else. You're welcome, brother. Thank you for coming.